Yeah, hi Lakshmi.
Yeah, hi. So we'll start. Hi everyone. Today we have our speaker Nikita with almost 6 years of experience, eager to know her experience, journey, everything. But I had this opportunity to go through your LinkedIn. It's so good. I can see you have started as a system engineer in 2019 and transited as an ML engineer. So my first question for you is, what excited you about data and this field? Like many of us have many intuitions about it.
This is an interesting question for me as well. When I was working as a system engineer, so like around 5 years, 5.5 years back, I started my journey as a system engineer. I was working as a backend engineer basically. So there I was dealing with Java, Spring Boot,
Mm-hmm.
and then that this COVID thing happened, and I was so stuck at my work. So after 3.5 years, I realized that no, okay, this is fine that I have some experience in this, but things are changing, right? I like this is the field where in every 6 months new technology is coming, and we have to change with time as well. So that time I realized no, this data thing is like booming right now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like let's give a chance and just explore what is it like business analyst, data analyst, data engineering, data scientist, what they are doing actually, because they are different from the SD roles, right? So
Correct.
then I just find internet like what is the difference, what is
Mm-hmm.
their roles, what they are doing actually, because
Mm-hmm.
analyst is fine, but exactly what their work is.
Yes, I got it. So, how was your journey actually? What was the path that you took? What was your initial step into learning all these?
Yeah. So once I just find the differences between the work, I found like data science very exciting. Okay,
Okay.
because not only it is booming, but also the work and roles. I liked it. So I
Oh.
start finding about it, like
Mhm.
what all things we have to know, and what all like, and how we can get into it. Okay,
Mhm.
then my like brother and sister they also took this DataMites course. They suggested
Okay.
me, so you should go
Okay.
for it. So
Uh-huh.
then I decided to go for it, and luckily it worked for me very well, and I
Hmm.
got switched from field and into the data science and
Good,
ML.
good. So your upskilling happened through an organization. That is what you can basically timeline is.
Yes.
Right. You again have moved to a service-based company, which is Infosys, with the transition of an ML engineer. So how this transition happened? Like how many interviews you took, or like just that viewpoint?
Huh. So, yes, I was working there fully. So
Hmm.
it was not easy for me to, save some time and, on weekends itself to work and study some different domain itself. Okay. So, yes, I gave some interview, which gives me
Okay.
some feedback. Initially, it was all like, okay, I was just learning the interview question, what they're asking, and how will be the process. But
Uh-huh.
then once I understand and I just gone through all the courses and revision everything, it was smooth. And I must say that data science, this Infosys interview was initially my one or two interviews only,
Okay.
and I got selected luckily there.
So, how was your interview? Like more practical questions asked, or it is theoretical intuition there? How was it?
Okay, so basically, if we talk about Infosys itself,
Mm-hmm.
so there was 3 rounds.
Okay.
So first was like the technical round where they were asked like Python and SQL questions.
Okay.
Second, there was and again the second technical round where they gone through my project which I have done and all the experiences that I've mentioned in my resume. They
Mm-hmm.
asked the questions from it,
Okay.
and deep down more the interview question on the stats or ML basics. These
Mm-hmm.
were asked, and like they asked this, and
Oh,
third was HR round only.
okay. So, this is one interesting question, like projects questions related. Like most of the freshers, what we get in hand on day-to-day basis, that's the only question asked. Like if question about project is asked, how do I put it across? Like how
Okay,
it is. Mm-hmm.
it is very simple to understand that theoretical knowledge is one thing, and applying it to solve some real world problem is another thing.
Correct,
Okay, it
correct.
may be a case that someone is good in theoretical knowledge, they have everything which it can crack the interview, but they do
Mm-hmm.
not have the real time experience. So it is
Hmm.
always better for ourselves also to get
Mm-hmm.
some hands on a real world problem. If someone is fresher, there are
Mm-hmm.
like multiple resources in the online as well. But they should like do some projects. No, I'm not saying 5 6 big projects, but at least 1 2 project from the very scratch to the end, so that they can understand, like they can relate the theory they have learned, and then can relate with that.
Correct, correct. That is one, but that is where most of the interviews, what happens with a fresher, they go in a back end where they fail in explaining the projects that have done. A lot of the instances we come across, they fail to explain what they have done. That is what you can map. Understanding theory and applying is still correct. So, like, what does your roles and responsibilities look like, Nikita, for a day? What you do?
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
basically, in Infosys itself, I'm working for the Apple account.
Okay.
Apple is my client,
Mm-hmm.
so I cannot disclose the use case that I'm working
Correct,
on.
correct. Okay, at least tools. I
Yeah,
mean, what is it? What is the market is currently looking to? How do I take it across in
hmm.
that intuition?
Yeah. So basically, in this, in Apple account, I'm working as a business data scientist. It means the data science role as well as the business side. So what does business side means? Not I'm only the cleaning the data, the training the
Mhm.
data, but also just from the inside, I have to present it to the business side as well,
Okay.
right? To the, because there's upper management which do not know the buzzwords which we are
Mhm.
dealing with, right? And they do not know the what's maths behind this. They just know the insight, they just want to know the insights, and so that they can take their decisions. So
Mhm.
to show them in the simple manner, it's also an art work.
Okay. Right. What kind of tools, technologies you tell that is so much important for me to get in into this field?
Okay, so there are some, but all
Mhm.
are very important, I must say. The
Mhm.
If we talk about the coding perspective, yes, the Python and SQL is a must thing. Like if we
Okay.
talk about the Python, from the
Mhm.
basic beginner to the medium level is fine.
Okay.
There is no need to go for the lead code, the medium and high
Mhm.
something. But yes, the basic and easy one you should know,
Okay.
because the company will ask for it. And if we
Mhm.
talk about the SQL thing, yes, I must say that you should one should be like from medium to hard. One should
Okay.
know this thing, because
Mhm.
they are dealing with a big data, right? Like there's a large amount of data they are dealing with. So
Mhm.
they are storing in somewhere. So we have to retrieve it, change it. So for that,
Mhm.
we have to know the SQL, because it is the
Okay.
only way to deal with the database, right?
Mhm.
So, coding perspective, Python and SQL. If we talk about the other thing, then the all the supervised and unsupervised learning algorithm,
Mhm.
it should be on a tips, like how it is working, and the
Mhm.
important thing is the maths behind it, because one
Okay.
should know the theory, everything is fine, but one should also know the maths behind it, how it is working, how they are dealing with the data. and
Hmm.
and the most important thing I find, like maths and the statistic,
Okay.
it is equally important, I
Okay.
must.
Libraries, if you speak about Python.
Uh, Pandas and NumPy, if we are
Okay.
talking about the dealing the data, like cleaning the data and EDA part, and if
Mm-hmm.
we are talking about the visualization part, then Matplotlib is fine.
It's fine. Okay. So, any guidance for freshers from your side? Any tips or anything? How do I get in into, let's say, for example, I am a very fresher, don't know anything about this domain, but I need to kickstart it, like a guidance from you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing I must say, that just don't go with the buzzwords and only because it is booming.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just go after it. Be passionate. Like if you are doing something, you should know that you are why you are doing this. What effect it will give, or it what impact it will give to the real problem, right? If it will give you excitement, only then it will go to
Correct,
this.
correct.
The second thing, if it does, then you have to be like first you have to be good with the coding part, because the
Hmm.
very first round will be a coding. They will ask one Python question or the SQL question. So you
Okay.
so practice it as many as questions you can do. I must.
Hmm.
And then the ML concepts, I must say that the data science and ML concepts should be on your tips, because
Hmm.
I'm not saying the go in depth, but it should be like the basic thing, the basic working and basic maths behind it should be on tips. Because
Hmm.
if we are going to work on these models, you should know why you are choosing this particular model and why not
Correct.
else.
Correct. Correct.
So these basic things should be on tabs. Other
Hmm.
than that, it sets. I'm again saying that it's the backbone of data science. I'm saying you should be aware of all the terminologies you work, in the stats that we are
Hmm.
going to work on, because it may be the case you don't know that term, but someone is talking about that term, so you should
Hmm.
understand and you can relate what they
Hmm.
are saying and what it is affecting the data, how it is affecting the
Correct.
data. So stats this thing. And then yes, there are the cases, use cases when you have to also show them to the upper management or stakeholders. You cannot say that it's not my work, I'm just a data scientist. No, but the basic Tableau or Power BI you have to
You
know.
have to
So
learn.
basic, I'm not saying the go to the hard level, but yeah, basic one, like just create a dashboard or report, whatever
Hmm.
insights you found, just show
Hmm.
them to upper, or you can present that to them.
See, I can see one of those certifications or the skills that you had mentioned was storytelling, like how it is helping you. I was just curious on it.
Yes. So when I was working as a system engineer in my first company, so along with this backend engineering thing, one of my tasks was to present the demonstration, the product demonstration that we were working on, to the upper management.
Mm-hmm.
So I presented with the PPT and the showcasing them live or some with the help of a Tableau dashboard. So
Okay.
I was working on that. So
Mm-hmm.
that really helped me to change my path to this data thing, because
Mm-hmm.
this is very important soft skill, I must say, in the data field, that you also need to represent your whatever insights you have found, because it's not just a work to find the insights. No, you have to present it to the other team which do not know anything about the data and data terms, right? So it is a good skills to have, I must say.
Correct, correct. Made a complete sense actually. So, before we move on to the next phase, I have a couple of questions. So, from Rakesh, it says, what motivated Nikita to choose data analytics as a career? Pretty much has answered it, but yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So, okay. Initially, I was not much into the coding part. I don't
Mhm.
like actually. I was dealing. This is the truth. Okay. So I
Mm.
was majorly into the MongoDB. DB. I was taking care of the database and how to manipulate the things, and also the presentation, that part. I was more into that. Then after like COVID, like I realized, okay,
Mm.
if I'm interested in this and I'm good at it, I've got the client appreciation and everything,
Mm.
so I must check those other data things, because there
Correct.
the main skill was presentation and those things.
Mhm.
That's
Fair
exciting
enough.
to check this thing.
Yes, whenever you talk about a unstructured data, DBs and stuff, how important it is for a data analyst to get in touch with that. Let's say, for example, I deal with data. That data might be a big data or a real-time data, streaming data, whatever it is. How important it is for me to get in touch with big data analytics, the tools, as well as unstructured DBs. Like how important it is.
Uh, I say like company to company, it depends what database they are using for the to storing the data.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there are some like big companies which having the big data. So in that
Mm-hmm.
case, they use a PySpark
Thanks,
and
Mark. Mm-hmm.
SQL for
Yes.
them. I must say that all the what should I say? Um, their syntax is overall same only. If
Hmm.
one is good with the SQL, or I started from my MongoDB query,
Hmm.
right? So the query, the structure is almost same. If I was good at MongoDB, I can easily learn the SQL or other Mongo database. But if we are getting into the data field, with the
Hmm.
whether it's a data analyst, business analyst, or data science or data engineering,
Hmm.
one must be good at any of the database language.
Language. Okay. Uh, can you tell about the job portals that you were sticking on to whenever you wanted to apply for a job or whenever you wanted a transition for it? Synthetic answer that we get is LinkedIn. I also and you also will agree for a fresher, LinkedIn is not a best job portal for where I can easily grab a job. So can you talk in both the perspective as a fresher too, as an experience too?
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
Because I remember last year around July, August, when I was trying to apply for a new job, uh, like just another person, I just clicked to easy apply and just apply to like hundreds of jobs. Okay,
Yes.
but frankly speaking, I didn't get anything in return from LinkedIn jobs.
Correct.
Literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But in parallel to that, but from there, the LinkedIn, I got to know what they're expecting from the resource they are looking for. Okay, what job
Okay.
skills, what experience, so that if I'm not having that experience, I can
Mm.
learn those things just to for the sake that I can say I'm a beginner in this. I know this
Right.
thing. So in
Mm.
that LinkedIn worked for me. But
Okay.
actually, my parallel to the LinkedIn, I was also applying on the Naukri.com.
Okay.
So that helped me to get the calls from the for the interviewers.
Okay, cool. So let's say there's one more a couple of questions on the Q&A which you can take it at this point of time. How were the internship projects assigned by DataMites team helped in securing a job?
Okay.
Uh,
So yes, so we got a chance to select. We got a list of projects that we worked on, and three of was internal, and one was a client
Good.
side project.
Okay.
So I was luckily or I don't know, but
Hmm.
meanwhile they're doing the projects only. I got the call for the interview in the
Interviews.
Infosys only. So I
Okay.
was doing the projects, but meanwhile only I got the project.
Uh-huh. Call. So yeah. Anything else from Nikita to us? As guidance or as anything. Don't have a terminology right now with me, but anything as a guidance or a word from Nikita to all the audiences.
Okay. So I must say, like, if you are thinking to jump into this data field,
Mm-hmm.
first you have the answer that why you want to join this. If you
Correct.
have that patience to learn, because it is a very changing field which is changing within 1 2 months. Every new
Mm-hmm.
technology is within the like AI, generative AI, everything is coming. You have to keep learning these things. So first, if this excites you, like how data is working, like we got the raw data from the client, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we have to find the insights from it and show them so that big companies can make the
Mm.
life changing decisions. It is very
Correct.
important for them as well.
Mm.
So if this excites you, only then go for it, I must say.
Mm.
Second thing, uh, there are some skills but all are very important. You cannot leave like, okay, I'm not good at SQL, just leave that
Mm.
I'm good in Python. No, they are limited skills, but you have to do it by heart only. The Python, SQL, stats, ML, and DS, data science basics.
Mm.
It's always fine. I'm
Fine.
not saying that go for PySpark also for the big data, Tableau, everything. No, if you are a beginner, it's fine to have this basic five things. But
Okay.
be good at it.
Hmm. Correct. So, how LLMs are in point of view? Is there any time in future that you're going to step in into it, work it, or you're currently working on it? How it is?
Yes, I just frankly speaking, I already started learning those things because not only the data
Mm-hmm.
field, but in every domain, whether it's a healthcare, retail, and everything, people are jumping into that. So we cannot
Mm-hmm.
say that okay, we are fine that we are earning good, we are fine with it. No, we have to just change and
Upskill.
adopt those things as well.
Correct.
So beyond the data science, they are like NLP, natural
Mm.
language
Processing.
processing, and we have deep learning with us.
Correct.
Then we have to go for the generative AI. So
Relative.
we are. I'm not saying that we are good at everything, so
Hmm.
that you are prepared for the job, but at least you have to be like the terminologies. You have to be aware with those terminologies which are
Correct.
working
Correct.
nowadays. so
Yes.
that you can say yes if to a person above
Hmm.
talking about that, you understand that thing because
Hmm.
you are also into that field. So you have to adapt them as soon as possible because things are changing.
Changing. Yes, Likita, thank you so much. It was great meeting you for this weekend, and thank you for spending time with us. Have a great weekend, Nikita. Thank you
Same
so
here,
much.
Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving me this platform and uh, let me share my experience with you all, guys. Hope it helped you. Uh,
Yes, yes, it was a great help. That's good
Thank you
meeting
so
you
much.
today. Yes, thank you. Oh, sorry, there is one more question. I'm sorry. Rohan Patel says how much average time it takes to prepare for the interview and to get a job.
Okay, so uh, it depends upon how your preparation is going, first of all,
Mhm.
because if you are like for the things I have mentioned, the Python, SQL, data science basics, and ML basics and statistic, these five things, if your basically like foundation is good, then it will take around 3 months.
Hmm.
Okay, if you are doing with a full-time job, I'm
Correct.
considering, then it will take 3 months. And the rest, the first you have to prepare, go for the mock test, I must say, before actual interview. It will
Hmm.
let you know that what in what areas you are lacking, or in what area you are good at, right? Then this mock test and actually applying will take time because the
Hmm.
job scenario is up and down like that. So
Hmm.
it will take time, but please make sure you will not stretch those 3 months of time of learning. Do not
Correct.
stretch it to 4 or 5 6 months. Do not do that because that applying for job and getting the interview call itself will take time, right? So
Right.
be prepared, like just set a deadline or whatever. Ki, I have to complete these basic thing
Hmm.
into 3 months, and then
Hmm.
I'll start applying because
Correct.
these things will take time. And
Right. For a complete fresher it will take at least 3 to 3.5 months solid time for us to prepare on any new topic. At least
correct,
for 2.5 weeks, at least you have to sit for at least learning Python basics. So
correct,
going forward, at least 3.5 months of solid time is there for preparation.
yes.
Yes, yes. Is there any other questions? I'll just serve through it. I don't think so. There is any other questions left for us. Fine, Likita. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Lakshmi.
thank
Okay,
you.
everyone.